close to heaven and down.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, Mark McKee.
Good morning, Shaun. How you doing?
I'm always excellent when you come in on a Friday.
Well, and it's even more excellent because we have one of His Excellencies here today.
Who's that? Oh, I know that. I know who that person is. David Wilks. Nice to have you in here, Mr. Wilks.
RMP, David Wilks.
How are you doing, gentlemen?
We're doing excellent.
Great.
Now, we have a list of mayor report questions that we will get to,
Yes.
but with Mr. Wilks being here, we're going to have he's got a bit of a speech for us.
That's right. So we met at the side steps of City Hall earlier today, and Mr. Wilks is visiting us in town with good news, and I just handed over to David Wilks, our MP, to make the announcement again that we made earlier today.
MP Wilks, you've got the floor.
I do. Thanks, Mark, and happy to be here in Revelstoke today with great news for the citizens of Revelstoke. As you know, back earlier this year in February, I came to Mayor and Council and spoke to them about the Build Canada Fund and asked them what their priorities were, and Mayor and Council at that time said that the Big Eddy Water Project was their main focus and their priority, and that I said I would do everything in my power to ensure that it was put high on the list and that we could get it approved. So I'm happy to announce today that the funding for the Big Eddy Water Project through the Build Canada Fund has been approved. And so I can give you some quick facts on that. The Government of Canada will provide up to $1,892,677 through the Small Communities Fund for the project. That will be matched by the province with the same amount. And the City of Revelstoke will be responsible for all remaining costs of the projects. The total estimated cost of the project is $5,678,031. This brings to 55 projects that have been approved for funding in British Columbia under the Small Communities Fund so far, including 24 drinking water projects, 22 wastewater projects, 4 major road projects, 2 disaster mitigation projects, 2 brownfield remediation projects, and 1 solid waste management project. So I'd like to congratulate Mayor McKee and his council for their great application. Probably I should also mention it's staff that do these applications, and he has obviously got great staff that put together a great application. And as a result of that, they can now move forward with Big Eddy. I understand there has to be a referendum, but having said that, I look forward to coming back in the future and looking at the completion of this project.
Well, that's fantastic news for the Big Eddy.
That's great news, and I really have to thank David, because as anyone can imagine, these applications and these grants are oversubscribed. There's way more projects totaling way more money that's available, and this is an important project for the community, especially obviously for the Big Eddy. And David went to bat and made sure that our community was one of the successful candidates, and looking forward to the process unfolding, where we go out to the Big Eddy residents, we give them as much information for them to make an informed decision on whether this project goes ahead. I'm hoping that this referendum will be done before the end of the year, and that could see, if it's successful, it could see construction starting spring, early summer. And but anyways, it's great news. It's a great day for Revelstoke, and I really want to thank our MP David Wilks and show our appreciation. This is a great project and well deserved. And again, thanks, David.
You're welcome.
Now, we do have some Big Eddy
Let's have some Big Eddy water questions.
We might be able to get some answers now with David's new news. Okay, Big Eddy Water. A discussion of taking over the water system in the Big Eddy has been going on for some time with the same result. As we are working on that and waiting for the Big Eddy Water, where are we with it? Well, we got an answer. It was stated that you and the city are using the one application for monies to subsidize the cost of a major project and city to choose the Big Eddy Water. There has been an agreement. And when are we going to see some changes? Well, it's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, it's a good question, and I know people have been waiting, and we've been waiting, and David Wilks has pulled through for us. So again, we have to do all the planning, figure out what everything is going to be, get a better handle on what the costing is going to be, then go to the Big Eddy residents, show them all the information, let them make an informed decision. The Big Eddy Waterworks has asked us to look at taking over the system. This is one of the requirements of the city taking it over, is getting it fixed up to a first-class standard, and the residents voting in favor of the remaining debt that will be there, and their portion of it, knowing that the province and the feds have picked up 2/3 of the cost. So, and again, if everything goes forward, and we could see construction starting spring, late spring, early summer of next year.
Excellent. Now this question was sort of in junction with the other one. If this doesn't pan out and the Big Eddy Water decides to stay independent, I suppose, and wants to remain separate, what would the project be that the city would apply for subsidization for?
Well, the thing is that you get one application, you get one shot at it, and we were successful. I don't think that we could go back to the feds and the province and say, oh, by the way, we want to take this money and reallocate it someplace else. It doesn't work like that.
So that's it, that's all. They say no, then...
Yeah, unless the feds and the province announce another round of infrastructure funding programs, then we would then decide what it would be, and it could be, there's always something that we're doing, and we would look at it. But this was identified as our #1 priority, and thankfully the province and the feds and our MP agreed with that, and we were successful getting this almost $4 million grant.
Okay, so it's not like, here's $4 million. If you don't want that one, we'll give it you for something else. No.
Yeah, go have fun. Woohoo! No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, and you have one more Big Eddy Water, and then we'll let David get back to his day, and then you got a laundry list of questions regarding other things. You're welcome. I know. Now, we cannot build anything in the Big Eddy right now. Now we see the same goes for Farrell Road because of a new provincial regulation says that there is not enough water flow in the hydrants for proper protection. So, is there enough for Starbucks or the affordable housing project or the potential new supermarket, strip mall, etc.? How big is the effect of this new regulation?
Well, first of all, I don't think that it's a new regulation. It's part of the BC Building Code. It's part of the city bylaw, having and it's the Canadian firefighters, the fire underwriters. There's a whole bunch of other people that are involved, but I don't think it's anything that's new. The fire flow regulations for the city bylaw is that residential has to have 60 liters per second of fire flow so that you can run fire hydrant and provide water pressure to the houses. Commercial development requires 150 liters per second. So let's go through your list as the Starbucks thing. Well, there's water lines that's part of off-site costs that developments would pay, is to ensure that they meet the regulations and they would have to upgrade, not a city of Revelstoke or taxpayer cost. It's a development cost. Same thing is going to happen with the proposed shopping center, grocery store, drugstore. They will have to provide their off-site costs. They are going to also be providing funding that will go towards rebuilding of that intersection to try to mitigate the traffic congestion. The same as the Starbucks Petro-Canada, they put $167,000 into that intersection, by the way. Affordable housing had to upgrade its water line to meet the fire flows, and that work is budgeted, and I think it's either being done right now, but we had to upgrade the water to get that project to meet its needs as well. I think that was all the questions.
Those are the questions for the Big Eddy.
Farrell Road is, it's an unfortunate situation that happened at Farrell Road, and I've been having meetings with staff yesterday and trying to look at solutions on how we can get that moving forward. But there's not enough water pressure in that area to service the new house that's being built, as well as any of the other lots that could be developed. So it's a problem.
It's something to be looked at.
Yeah, and I think there's only 30 liters per second in that area, and like I said, you need 60.
All right, well, those are the questions for the Big Eddy. That was the big news with, thank you for MP David Wilks for being here.
And again, I just wanted to show my appreciation to our MP, because I know that he went to bat for this community. This is an important project, and I'm glad that David saw it that way, as well as the federal and the provincial government. This is a great day for Revelstoke, and again, thanks to David.
Thank you,
very much.
David.